coronavirus is most likely to kill the elderly. Multi-system inflammatory syndrome can be very dangerous for kids who get COVID.
A Rockford teenager is now out of the hospital and sharing his story with News 8's Jacqueline Francis.
Just get better soon. From my friend Dylan Marr from Ohio.
Back home, surrounded by love and support, 17-year-old Mac Bauman is lucky to be alive. The varsity football player's battle with COVID started easy.
My sense of taste and smell was the only thing affected when I had COVID.
14 or so days and a negative COVID test later, he was back on the football field, helping the Rams beat Hudsonville on a Friday night in early November.
We thought, well, it's really not that bad. You know, we're in the clear, and you know, we're fortunate that, you know, he didn't get sick, and then this just snuck up on us so quickly.
About a month after his COVID diagnosis, Mac was hospitalized for what at first seemed like flu-like symptoms, but what turned out to be a continuation of his coronavirus battle. Doctors at Helen DeVos Children's Hospital diagnosing him with multi-system inflammatory syndrome, also known as MIS-C. The rare inflammatory condition is known to come weeks after a child recovers from COVID-19, which is why Mac's quickly deteriorating condition caught his parents by surprise.
We came so close to losing our son, so close to losing our son. And I was one of those people who thought it was, you know, what are the odds anything's going to happen, especially to our big, healthy boy, our fit, healthy 17-year-old boy.
Mac fought hard.
During the time, even though I was in pretty bad pain, I felt like I was freezing and burning at the same time, and I couldn't breathe. I just kept pushing through, and I said, I'm going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day.
But it almost wasn't enough.
Up to that point, the doctors they diagnosed MIS-C with confidence. They took a course of action with confidence. But when his infectious disease doctor pulled us into the hallway at about 2 a.m. and was explaining to us the fluid in his lungs is an obstacle we've got to get through, to hear her voice trembling as she told us.
In the end, Mac was one of the lucky ones, leaving the hospital 5 days later, returning home where he's now continuing treatment for his heart, kidney, and other organs. As a survivor, Mac and his family can't help but think about the kids still left fighting.
At night when I was just trying to get any type of rest I could, I can sometimes hear other kids in their rooms crying, which made me really sad, really, really, really sad.
Helen DeVos Children's Hospital says so far they've treated a total of 10 patients with MIS-C. One child dying from the inflammatory syndrome after being in the hospital at the same time as Mac.
But I felt kind of guilty because I felt like, how come I survived and she didn't? It makes me really sad. Sorry, it's hard to talk about that.
Aside from helping Mac make a full recovery, the Bauman family is setting out to educate others about the real and potentially deadly consequences of COVID in kids.
And I just really pray that other people will see what we're saying, because that's all we want people to see. Just listen to us, and we lived through terror, and we are still living through terror. We're coming out of it, and it's getting better, but you know, it's just not a chance, no matter how minimal, that you should be willing to take.
Rockford Athletics has implemented new protocol to look for signs of MIS-C in all of its student athletes that have previously tested positive for COVID-19. The athletic director telling me that they were already in talks of making this happen before Mac's diagnosis, but that his story just gives them more the reason to do so. Live from Rockford High School, Jacqueline Francis, News 8.
Boy, that is scary. It just shows you there's so much that we don't know about this and the virus. Jacqueline, thank you.